Well, good day, viewers, and welcome to the Sport Trap Show. I'm your host, Brian Monango, updating you on the latest sports news. Well, before we do dive into the hit list, just a few things that are worth mentioning. We all know that the Premier League is back in action, and we did have the second round of the Premier League commence this weekend. And unfortunately, for United fans, we had to be okay with the fact that we draw with Fulham. We had a draw with Fulham. Arsenal did really good, beating Leeds 5-0. And the shock result of the weekend once again has to be Manchester City losing to Tottenham Hotspurs. As a Manchester United fan, I think there's nothing that makes you happier than seeing Manchester City lose against the likes of Tottenham Hotspurs, which completed the weekend. But nonetheless, there's a lot to talk about, and I think the topic of discussion for the weekend has to be Grootfontein beating FNB Kudus down at the coast. That was a very spectacular match, and we'll be having a look at the highlights later on during the course of the show. As for now, let's get right into the hit list. Well, the Comas 100 to start off with was one of the biggest events that took place this past weekend. Alex Miller, who has been based in the US lately, came back and showed prowess in this event. If we have a look at the top 10, Alex Miller in first place. This guy took on 157 kilometers, guys. I don't think I can ever do something like this to myself. But if we have a look at the top 5, Alex Miller in first, finishing in 4 hours 39 minutes. Mark Pritson from South Africa in second. Jaco van Dijk in third, and Wessel Botha in fourth. If you have a look, that just shows Namibia at first place. Second, third, and fourth is all occupied by South Africans, and Martin Fryer completes the top 5 for Namibia as he finishes there. Job well done to him. And we do have, of course, an interview with the national champion, Alex Miller, and this is what he had to share after the race.
It was a super interesting day, and it got tough towards the end, but started off quite well, and then like 10 k's after the start, the first bit of gravel section we hit was super corrugated. My one bottle just popped out, and I'm going to have to invest in different bottle cages. But I must shout out, say a big thank you to Jacques Hanekom, because shortly after that he saw that happen, and he came to me and he gave me one of his bottles. So luckily I had 2 bottles in my Uzwe still until the first water point. And but just before the first water point, Mark and I got a gap. I was pulling the whole time, but 2 of his teammates and Martin were about 30 seconds behind us the whole time, and I was just on the front the whole time, and I could see that we weren't getting any bigger gaps. So eventually they came back, and then we all rolled in together at about at the second 85 kilometer water point, and I had put 2 bottles there, and I grabbed them, and then 200 meters later on the downhill, both of them popped out again. So it was super annoying, and at that point I was just trying to think of ways to save energy as much as possible, closing my mouth, breathing through my nose. And eventually, shortly after that, it was just myself, Mark, and Jaco. And I knew 2 against 1, it's going to be hard, and they attacked me quite a few times, but I was feeling super good, and I was able to close them down each time. And at the 120 kilometer water point, I tried to grab another bottle of water from one of the feeders. Unfortunately, I missed that. I managed to attack, and we dropped Jaco, and it was just Mark and myself. And then with 20 kilometers to go, the last water point, luckily I could grab 2 water bottles. I think that saved me, and then with about 9 k's to go, I decided to see how I was feeling, and I attacked and immediately got a gap, and I thought, okay, now I have to try and make it stick, and luckily the energy was there and I was feeling good and yeah, felt good. So yeah, thank you very much. And I'd just like to say thank you for the organizing and everything. And yeah, thank you to this guy as well. He also played a big role. So yeah, it was a good day, and also a big thanks to all my supporters, friends and family. It's always nice to represent the jersey and now the African jersey as well in Europe. So it's a big privilege, and yeah, I'd just like to say thanks to all my friends and family in Namibia. Yeah, big thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Huge congratulations to the national champ for coming out on top there against competition from South Africa. While in the women's category, it was a bit different with South Africa coming out on top there in the elite category. But if we have a look at the result, Hayley Preen from South Africa finished first in 5 hours 36 minutes. That's close to an hour behind Alex Miller. And then in second place, we have our very own Andre Greef, who finished in 5 hours 39 minutes, just like 20 seconds behind first place. Sonika Klopper finished in third place there, and then Violet Irakoze, apologies there, from Rwanda, finished in fourth. So that's the top four. Top five, Belinda from Namibia completed the top five, but you can see that the competition from South Africa was definitely very tight. But to hear from the winner herself, Hayley Preen, after the race, these are the comments that she had to share.
Congratulations, Hayley Preen, our very first African Continental Gravel Champ. How was the route today? Congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Yeah, it was beautiful. It's my first time riding in Namibia, so it was amazing. Got to look at the scenery as much as I could, but it was rough. Those rollers are hard, but yeah, beautiful, beautiful day.
And did you enjoy the actual event, or was it just a much of a blur?
I loved it. Yeah, and the water points were amazing, and just like the start, everything has been incredible.
And where did you manage to break away?
At one of the water points, it was maybe about just over 60 kilometers to go.
Yeah.
So I did the last 60 kilometers on my own. But our race split up pretty early. Sonika and I got away like 20 Ks in, and then maybe at about 50 Ks in we were caught. And then there were just three of us, yeah, until I went solo.
Oh, congratulations. What are your plans for the rest of today?
I think just enjoy the race finish here. Like, yeah, actually get to experience this a little bit.
And the most important question, will you be back next year?
Yes.
Thank you so much, and a huge congratulations. We'll see you on the podium.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Special Olympics Namibia is gearing up for the Unified Volleyball Games scheduled for October this year. That's the World Cup, of course. And we did catch up with Charles Nyambe. He is the president of the Special Olympics Africa, to just give some insight on how they are setting up the team before the competition in October. Marit Ngula was the reporter on duty, and these are some of the interviews that he did get for us.
Joining us is Mr. Charles Nyambe, the president of our Special Olympics Africa. Mr. Nyambe, please tell us how you found the competition.
This competition was outstanding. It was a unified volleyball tournament. It was an advancement tournament to advance one of the teams that is going to represent Namibia in Poland. And this team has done an outstanding. The teams have done an outstanding job. Oshana won the gold medal, and they will be representing Namibia in Poland in October. I think what is important is the awareness that we're going to create, that people with intellectual disabilities can do well. They have the ability to play sport and to display their skills. They are useful in society, and we can see it. It all starts from the field, then it goes into the office. They can be leaders, they can be fundraisers, they can do so many things. But people don't understand and believe that until when they see it. And that's why sport is an eye-opener. So we bring them on the field to participate, to play, and people begin to see. And when you see, a picture is more than 1,000 words. When you see, you believe. And this is the reason we did these tournaments in an advancement. You see how many regions came, the whole way from Zambezi, Kavango, Masati, and with Commerce and so on and so forth. They participated in this event, representing almost the entire nation. And this is what we encourage also, to develop sport throughout the country with people with intellectual disabilities. So Special Olympics Namibia is opening doors everywhere. And we believe that with what has happened here, we want to call upon those mothers, those siblings, those friends, people if you know somebody with an intellectual disability who's just sitting at home or herding cattle or whatever, no, they're citizens, they have the rights as well. Bring them to Special Olympics, find out where the Special Olympics office is and register them, so that also as citizens they begin to enjoy their rights. Participation in sport is one of them, so that they register with Special Olympics. It is an organization that is set up for people with intellectual disabilities to participate in sport. So well done, Special Olympics Namibia. And we look forward to great performance in Poland in October. We will hear the results. Thank you.
Joining us is Ms. Levin, the organizer of the Volleyball National Games. Ms. Levin, please just tell us how the event went.
So this was the first ever Special Olympics unified volleyball event. We had 9 teams that played out for the battle, and at the end we had 2 divisions. So we're excited to see how teams participated from Kavango East, Kavango West, Zambezi, Oshana, even Otapi and Komas as well. How the athletes and the partners, the unified partners, just became like a wonderful team together, and how they played so well. So we saw really competitive volleyball today, and yesterday it was a 2-day event, and this game will qualify the team that goes to Poland, that will participate in a Special Olympics World Cup in the beginning of October this year. So Omasati is the winner of this event, and the second runner-up is a team from Dagbreek. So we're very excited that this team will have an opportunity to travel, to represent Namibia, and to be part of the only 8 teams in the world that will play in this World Cup in October this year.
Right. Please tell us how important that is, to represent Namibia at the World Cup.
Important?
How important that is for Namibia?
Yeah, I think it's really important that the message of inclusivity and unified sports, where athletes with intellectual impairments and those that our partners play together in one team, and to show the world we are capable, we can become friends, we make, on the field we are one. And if we play together, we stay together. So how sports can just make us all one, unite us, and really provide opportunities for athletes and partners alike. So this is so important that women's sports, especially in Namibia, have this opportunity to go abroad, to represent Africa in that matter, and make us proud and carry our name far and wide. So we're really, really excited for this opportunity.
Well, Beauties FC are currently representing Namibia at the CAF Champions League Women's Qualifier matches, and they did play to a 3-0 win in their second match yesterday. They took on the team from Malawi, of course, and came out dominating after losing the first match 3-0. And now they look forward. In their last match, they'll be taking on the defending champions, or the 2-time champions, Sundown. So we look forward to seeing how that game goes. But we do have a post-match interview with the head coach, Kati, and this is what he had to share.
The match for us, it went very well. We needed the win today so that we can keep the group competitive. And we needed actually to respond back from a loss of our first game. The girls responded very positively. They showed character. And we really needed the win today. From the word go, I motivated them. I told them to go all out and grab as many goals as we can. Unfortunately, the plan didn't really work in the first half. But you could see in the first half we had a couple of chances to put the balls away, but we totally failed. But I'm happy with the response when we came back from the second half.
Thank you very much, Coach Kati. I'll open the floor. What's up? Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. It means a lot. It was very much important. First of all, we needed the 3 points so that it can give us confidence Secondly, we needed to win so that we can still be in the competition. We needed to make sure that we are still in, and that the group is very competitive. So we really needed the win for today, and I believe we could have done better in the first game. Unfortunately, we had some defense lapses, and we couldn't really convert our chances. But that is how sometimes football used to go. But I'm very, very happy with the way it responded in today's game.
Is there any pressure for you guys going into the next match, or do you feel after today's win, you guys can just relax a bit?
No, pressure is always there. In football, pressure is always there. But to us, it motivates us, especially when we are actually facing opponents like Sundowns, who will be very motivated and very determined to face them. I'm quite sure they are prepared for us, but what I can say, we are also very much prepared. We are determined, and we are going to take the game to them.
Sundowns in the last match is definitely not going to be an easy task, as they are the defending champions for a good reason. Well, viewers will be going for a short break, and after the break we'll be having a look at FNB Kudus that took on FNB Grootfontein in the JSP Gold Cup.
In a world where politicians promise the moon and deliver potholes, where democracy sometimes arrives in camouflage and ballots often look like formalities, one show dares to laugh with Africa, at Africa, and sometimes for Africa. This is Second Take, your weekly dose of political satire with an African soul and a global edge. From coups disguised as press briefings to ministers moonwalking past accountability, we serve the real news with sharper writing. Each week we bring you the TikTok of the week, because sometimes the revolution is vertical, and the heartwarming moment of the week to remind us that not everything is burning. We also sit down with the bold, the brilliant, and the brave, voices that question power, stir thought, and spark laughter. Because when the headlines are wild, the leaders are louder, and the truth is lost in translation, we all need a second take.
Ja, en hier het vat Kudus die veld. Kom ons kyk bietjie na die hoogtepunte van vandag se wedstryd. Waar Grootfontein dan vir Kudus hier 'n uitklop hou gegee het hier op hulle tuisbodem met 53 punte. Daar teenoor die 33 van Kudus. Kudus van daarna die veld. En die eerste helfte was gekenmerk deur goeie dryfwerk aan die kant van Grootfontein. Die bal is beskikbaar en dan kom hy agteruit en Johan Littig wat hom sterk daar vorentoe vat. Etlike meters van die doellyn af word hy gestop. Die bal is beskikbaar en daar gaan Oliver Meton daar in die oorkant oor en hy gaan plant hom lekker daar. En die eerste punt is daar op die telbord. Verdoel was daar aan die kant en dis 7 punte dan vir Grootfontein en geen punte daarna vir Kudus. Kudus het daar verwoes probeer vorentoe veg, kry die bal daar af en daar gaan hulle op die steelkant om en is Lloyd Jacobs en Elisio wat daar soos netbal speel en daar gaan plant Lloyd Jacobs om aan die oorkant en hy bring die telling gelyk hier met 'n doelskop deur Michael Koopman wat dit bring op 7 punte elk. 7 punte dan daar vir Grootfontein en 7 punte dan daar vir Kudus. Maar Grootfontein het konsolideer en daar vat Grootfontein die bal weer sterk vorentoe en hulle sit hom daar etlike paar meters van die doellyn op. En daar dryf Grootfontein sterk na vore en hy plant hom. En die telling is dan daar so 12 punte daarna vir Grootfontein met die doelskop wat dan kom. En Grootfontein maak dit dan 14-7. bal is beskikbaar. Wiekes gee hom daar agter die agterkant uit. Johan Littig wat lekker sterk vorentoe gaan. Dis weer Wiekes wat hom daar optel, oppik en daar etlike meters van die doel en gestop. Die bal word ry en daar gaan kuier Grootfontein. En hulle bring die telbord. Die telbord daarna op 21 punte bring hulle die telbord. 21 punte is daarna op die telbord vir Grootfontein en 7 punte daarna vir Kudus. En hier gaan Kudus aan, maar hulle verloor die bal daarso en Grootfontein kry die bal in die hand en daar trek hy dwars deur en hy gaan plant hom daar onder die pale en hulle bring die telling skielik is die telling dan op 28 punte vir Grootfontein en 7 punte vir Kudus. Tweede helfte begin dan heeltemal anders met Grootfontein wat nou net met paar manne daar en Plato gee daar 'n ligte dummy soos ons dit in Engels noem en hy gee dit terug en Kudus kuier daar agter die doellyn en hulle bring die telbord dan op 14 punte teenoor die 28 van Grootfontein. 14 punte daarna vir Kudus en 28 vir Grootfontein. Kudus vind dan weer 'n bietjie momentum en hulle gee die bal lekker lig agter. Lloyd Jacobs se daar deur halfgapings is en hy gee hom daar vir Delano Vries en Vries gaan kuier daar agter die doellyn en hy bring die telling dan daar op 21 punte dan daar vir Kudus en 28 punte vir Grootfontein met Koopman wat hom daar tussen die pale deursit. En Kudus begin daar met daar te loop daar met Michael Koopman wat hierdie kant toe, daardie kant toe en hy gee hom daar liggies daar vir die Kudus speler en daar trek hulle en daar gaan kuier Center Nando gaan kuier daar onder die pale en hulle bring die telling gelyk op met 28 punte dan daar vir Grootfontein en 28 punte dan daar vir Kudus. Koopman wat hom sy daar tussen die pale deursit. Maar hiervanaf het Grootfontein die wedstryd totaal en al beheer. Grootfontein is dan terug tot hulle volle komplemente van 15 en hulle hou die bal hier tussen hulle voorspelers en daar gaan Grootfontein weer oor en hulle rek die telling dan daar na 33 punte teenoor die 28 punte dan daar vir Kudus. Die doelskop was daar onsuksesvol deur Bush en Grootfontein neem toe beheer van hierdie spel. Bush kry toe 'n strafskop en hy sit hom tussen die pale deur en hy bring die telling op 36 punte. Daar is baie goeie loopie daar deur Johan Littig en hy gee hom basketbal manier gee hom terug en Grootfontein trek deur en hulle plant hom daar tussen die dwarslatte en hulle trek die telling verder na 43 punte dan vir Grootfontein en 28 punte dan daar vir Kudus. Grootfontein het met 'n goeie geveg teruggekom. Kudus is daar na etlike 5 meter daar van die doelgebied van Grootfontein. Bal word daar ingesit. Bal word lekker gery in die agterkant af en is Hanne en daar gaan Delano Vries gaan daar vir sy tweede 3 in die hoek oor en Kudus kom dan op 'n telling van 33 punte waar Grootfontein dan hulle telling dan met 'n strafdoel op 46 punte kry. Die bal kom weer agteruit, Littig dra hom weer en hier's my man soos 'n warm mes deur botter. Soos 'n taxi driver op soek na alles. Plant hom daar tussen die dwarslatte. En dis die einde van die wedstryd waar Grootfontein dan 53 punte en Kudus 33.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news and starting off with English Premier League football. Last game played on Sunday was Manchester United that drew with Fulham. That score was 1-1. Not a good result and not a good start for coach Ruben Amorim. Lost the first game and that was at home and now a draw with Fulham. And it was substitute Emile Smith-Rowe that scored for Fulham late in the second half to make it 1-1. Also not a good result for Manchester City. They lost at home. They lost to Tottenham Hotspur. That score was 2-0. But a good result for Arsenal, beating Leeds quite convincingly by 5-0. That was a home win for them. And Chelsea beat West Ham also by 5-1. That was away. So a good result for them as well. There's one Monday night a game that's going to be played in the English Premier League. That is Liverpool. And they will play against Newcastle. That game will be played at Newcastle. On to golf news. Tour Championship, the final game of the final tournament of the FedEx Series was played. All to play for $40 million on offer for 30 players. And in the end, Tommy Fleetwood of England, he won the tournament. It's his first win on the US PGA Tour. Great performance by him. He ended on 18 under par after the 4 rounds. He closed with a 2 under par 68. And he won all of $10 million. Big payday for Tommy Fleetwood. Tied for second was Patrick Cantley and Russell Henley on 15 under par. Both of them also $4.3 million they won in the tournament. Scotty Scheffler, the world number 1, finished with a 68 and he was at 14 under par, also tied for fourth, and a $2.6 million that he won in the tournament. And on to rugby news. It was a rugby championship. It was the Springboks that played against Australia in Cape Town. They won that game by 30 points to 22, and also another home win also for Argentina, beating New Zealand by 29 points to 23. That means it's all open and all to play for in the Rugby Championship. It's now on the 6th of September. It's the next round of the Rugby Championship. It is Australia that will host Argentina, the first game of that day. And then it's South Africa. They play against All Blacks in Eden Park on the 6th of September. So big rugby coming up. And then also World Cup, Women's World Cup that started. Great start for the Springbok women's team. They beat Brazil by 66 points to 6. That's their first game in the tournament. They also play against France and Italy. And it was France that beat Italy by 24 points to 0 in their first round. So that the next game for the Springbok women's team will be this coming Sunday, and they will play against Italy. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day. We talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.